We're starting to get in the rhythm of playoffs here. It is day one of the postseason here in FACEIT League Season 3. I saw there was a open division matchup happening here at will be at the top of the hour here in about 10 minutes. Absolutely hopped on that thing. Was like, yes, let's get some other divisions in here. Let's shake it up a little bit. So top 24 made postseason. Actually, here as we go back and look at the regular season standings, and it was a pretty extensive list. A lot of teams. It keeps going. So, I mean, just to make top 24 here is awesome. To say it's something. And we are looking at OSU versus Kabosu. So it's right in the middle there, which I thought was interesting. Both had 9-5 records. Obviously, both right on top of each other there in the standings. They haven't played each other at all in the season, so we have no information on this head-to-head. So I thought it was very fortuitous that we got this as just kind of like a little bonus match that happened like exactly 2 hours before my planned expert match for the night. And it looked to be between two teams that were very close in the standings. Let's go look at how this playoff bracket is going to look with 24 teams in it, because it does look a little bit different than what we might be used to. Really, your top 8 moved on. Then the next 16 are fighting it out to get through this first round with. Let's see. I do know your starters for Kabosu will be Magnify. They're in the middle. Will be your tank for this roster. Your DPS are going to be Ringer on the hit scan and TyXer. TyXer? How is that? Does that work as TyXer? This is an Oregon State OSU. So close, Maddie. Very close. Oregon State OSU. Then we're going to get Big Brain Brad, who's listed to start on the support. And we will have Chiglo. Chiglo. Oh, I might stumble over that one. Will be your other support there. I don't know much else. I don't know much about the OSU roster, but there you go. At least I got some starting roles there. Keep an eye on. Magnifying that tank role always gonna be the first place that draws my eye. Chiglo comes in as Kabosu sucks. Showing their support. I love it. All right.
5, 4.
That's enough of that. Let's get into your first map. Let's give me Ilios kick things off here.
Capture the objective.
All right, so Kabosu coming in with a little bit of the Maga comp, just showing us a bit of that Maga Echo that we have seen a lot of recently. Even in the pre-Maga buff patch in OWCS, we were seeing this composition. But Fimus has already picked up has already at least contributed to a couple kills, got one final blow in their name. And there's been some early possession going to OSU here right out of the gate. TyXer is right. Thank you. Picking up TyXer, they're forced to Wraith form out a little bit early here. Looking to take over cage. Nobody's gotten control of the objective just yet. Reinforcements have shown up here for OSU, and they're able to hold for a moment. The miss trying to go into the back, though, was deadly their first time around on that. Meanwhile, 90% towards a nano boost on the point, but Ringer was having none of that. Not yet. Vortex responds in Kai, though, and it's a +1 here to OSU on this point. Ringer even the odds. Oh, and Ringer Magnify hunt down Squishy Squid in the back. Nice little duo as they converge onto that back line, take the break out of the fight, and see if they can wrestle control at this point. First cap did go to OSU. There's that nano boost coming in. Fimus is returning with the pulse as well. Go check back in on this nano. Ooh, got TyXer low, but can't find the finish. Fimus threw in the nano, the pulse, and couldn't get anything with the pulse either. TyXer does eventually fall on the back of that shadow step, but a primal thrown in here from Vortex to try to close out this fight. Chasing the brig around. Oh, just a little ring around the Rosie. 40% counting on the board. Magnify with a really important kill. I mean, they have to sacrifice themselves for it. We'll see if Kabosu can do anything with it. Looks like there's a small window of opportunity where Kabosu will have the player advantage before Seiju returns to this fight. Need to be aggressive. There's the shadow step into the back line. Papa Juan with the bob right on to the point. Duplicate used out of Ringer. Magnify gets Seiju. Oh, Magnify's coming up with a couple of them. Couple of tanks on point. And it seems like, well, I was going to say both of them belong to Kabosu, but you know what? Vortex has managed to stick around through this fight. Ringer does get one with that duplicate primal. Falling back behind the lighthouse, getting some heals out of that brig. Magnify eventually runs Vortex off, and this is looking like Kabosu will eventually get some progress here. Yeah, there's the flip. Vivis still playing on the outside with this pole. Second one in the pocket. Orbital Ray throwing in on the front line. Let's move in on Big Brain Brad here as they push through the choke with this orbital. Pulse lands onto the tank. Magnify's just going to drop that cardiac. Heal right on up. But TyXer doesn't get a chance to Death Blossom because of that pulse. Oh! And Chiglo goes down just as they pop the rally. An unfortunate turn. As Kabosu had the ultimates to hold on to it here. TyXer doesn't get a chance, and Chiglo will lose theirs immediately. 95% and counting here for Oregon State. You can cheer for the Beavers? All right, all right. That is a nano Juno. The Death Blossom. Oh, I thought it went in the hole for a moment. I thought TyXer was into the pit. Manages to find an important kill onto Seiju. They're out of the back line. But Fimis moving in here with Vortex. They're able to get Magnify. They've got TyXer low. TyXer tries to get out of there, but Papa Juan comes up with the final blow. Back on this point, it's just Ringer and Chiglo trying to hold it down. Make it just Ringer. OSU will take the first sub-map. By the way, Chiglo and Citrus, I appreciate the follows. Thank y'all. Appreciate it very much. Good luck in the rest of this match, Chiglo. All right. And if I'm mispronouncing your name, please let me know. That one's a little different. That one's a little different. I like it. I dig it. It's a good name. It's a good name. I just don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Speaking of different, it looks like OSU are sticking with this Winston composition. I mean, honestly, no surprise here. This would be the place to see it. This is the one map that seems to... We always see Winston no matter what the meta is. But, you know what? We are going to get the Malgo Brawl comp here. The Death Cage composition in full play on the low ground. Vortex and Fimis setting up here. 2-3 split with the other three on the back line. So it's just a rotation to point here from Kabosu. And just daring Vortex and the rest of OSU to make a move. Ringer's got to get across here safely, though. Oh, yeah. Ringer doesn't make the rotation. Great recognition. They're out of OSU to find somebody split from the pack. Now you're going to get Fimis moving in as they start to just close the vice here on this objective. Magnify below half health. TyXer eats a Bionade, and Vortex the final blow. +2 here at OSU on this point. Oop! The stud out the window. Magnify trying to hold it, but their backline's got to be careful. They all pounce on Vortex once again. Great recognition out of OSU. Good focus fire. Teammates are a little bit low here, but everybody but Big Brain Brad able to stay on their feet. Now, with that pick on the Juno, might be an opportunity here to push back in. Got a Diva swap out of Vortex. Hanging out on top of the lighthouse. Mr. Butler throwing onto the point. That's going to prompt a rally. Kabosus are looking to defend, but Fimis has already gotten one with the pulse. And this is going to be a fight win the other direction. We had a Nano invested on a Vortex throughout this fight as well. So, I mean, it's a 4-year-old fight here out of OSU versus only the rally invested from Kabosu. But Oregon State are rewarded for their investment. They do get control. Ringer pushing through high ground. The other 4. Look at this. The teleport onto the objective. Trying to get a bit of a blitzkrieg ambush onto this point. Immediately controls flipped right back over. Magnify on the Ramatra able to just body block the doorway, and Chiggle is able to body block the flank. So now a +1 advantage as this Kabosu squad looks just hunkered down. Hang on at this point. You do have Rally ready to go. Saves you about 2/3 of the way up to this nano boost. Could be a good engage tool here. You don't have a whole lot of time to work with. Bio thrown onto the point. Big Brain with the orbital. Right towards the front door and the incoming OSU. Vortex does not make it back into that mech. And that it looks like to be the beginning of the end. Squish is good here with a rally onto the point, but running into the car wash. That's a rallying Nano Brigand, still just stuck in the corner. That was Raid Boss, just level 0. Somehow gets topped up, and Squishy Squid managing to stay alive for a little bit longer than I expected, but will not make a difference in the end. We're heading to the ruins to figure out who will take map 1.
Score 1-1. Ready for battle.
All right, after the Big Brain swap, I mean the whole team from Kabosu, not just Big Brain Brad themselves. We're going to stick with their mantra, headed into ruins. We do have Widowmakers on both sides. Probably should have gone to Ringer's Pov. That would have made more sense, especially since Ringer gets the opening pick. Big Brain Brad able to follow up on it. I'm just going to leave it here for a moment, but Magnify and the rest will clean up on the front line. This will be first cap going over to Kabosu. Ooh, good damage on a TIXer, but they're able to get pack control. So Femis has to back up to their own Mega. Papa Wom with an aggressive push. That could be risky, but happened to catch the grapple shot on the other side. So caught Ringer in rotation, putting a little bit of damage down on the front line. But Vortex needs a place to set up to get into the back line. Can't just be wasting time trying to pick away at the Maga. I mean, or excuse me, the Ramatra. Does force the Ramatra back, so you know what? Maybe I stand corrected. And this is the ability stage. This is the staging that I was talking about. Now Vortex needs to do something with it. Turns around, ends up caught in this lockdown there with the Ramatra. Bubbled up, trying to deny some healing, and Magnify is not able to get a whole lot done. Some good pressure from the outside, and the shots from Papa Juan in the back. Femis has first ult online. Woo, that's a Bastion swap. They know Vortex is up there as well. That's the rally up here from OSU. And just everybody down here from Kabosu as they get flattened by Squishy Squid. And one ult, one fight win. Good war chest to work with here for Kabosu. That's why I was going to say, how do you close the gap? TIXer with a clever little move. Just grenade launch, so grenade jump their way up to that high ground. Sides are up here for both of our Widowmakers. Vortex low with Primal in the pocket, doesn't use it! Doesn't get a chance, or just doesn't get to the queue in time. But a disastrous turn as Magnify just pummels down a couple of players, including the big old tank. Now the cap goes over to Kabosu. What a play out of Magnify here on the front line. Femis, I was going to say, I thought I still saw Femis dancing around back there. Chase. Oh, Papa Watt gets Watt. There's that primal that we were looking for in the last engagement. Able to punch Magnify into this little cubby area. Nicely cornered up against that wall. Good juggle. The chase in, but that's a dangerous duel to take. Extra with the Mega at their back. Blocked off. Good reinforcements there from Squishy Squid. Squishy Squid. Showing up to shave their winch. Carlos, thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Let's check in on Ringer here on the south side. Papa White got the better end of this duel in this last fight. You have Fitness with a pulse as well. I don't know if they quite spotted Ringer. Of course, those blinks are very loud, so Ringer knows Fitness is hanging out around there somewhere. Ooh, Magnify with a priority pick on a Squishy Squid. Oh my goodness. What is the unhinged Juno of Says You in the back? Just give it the +1 right on over. Oh, Vortex can't quite escape the Death Blossom in time. And there should be OSU flipping this point on the back of that. Likely to send us to a 99-99. Oh! I think Says You got yanked right into the Mega. And Squishy Squid finds a kill on a tie-extra. The flip never comes through. Magnify now kind of on the back foot as they pop the Annihilation. Not quite where OSU wanted to be. It looked like they had that flip in the bag. And they end up having to invest to ensure they get control. Ringer does come up with a nice kill, a couple of kills on the back. Now you're down in the low ground. Okay, okay. Whoop. Papa Juan with the advantage. Was it a miscalculation from Vortex? Onto the Mega. 99. There's the Primal just in the nick of time. Down in the corner. Ooh, Chiglo is lucky that they didn't get caught in that little nook. As it stands, Ringer still falls. Still a +2. OSU on this point as the rally is invested here from Kabosu. But there is an Orbital Ray and a rally here from Oregon State. Overwhelming ultimates, overwhelming odds, and a fight win. A flawless final fight here to claim the point. And Oregon State will move up 1-0 here in your upper bracket round 1. All right. Stats there from map 1. Woo. Famous at 40-5 on that Tracer. Nutty. Nutty performance out of Famous. Or from Moss. Yeah, definitely a standout. It was a standout all series. Oh, I mean, that whole map. Through all 3 submaps. That's what I was thinking. All right. Let's take a look at our bands. Let's remind ourselves what was banned out here from map number 2. No Midtown. We will not see any Midtown, courtesy of Oregon State. And was Kabosu's map pick headed into hybrid. Does it look to try to so I always say map 2, I think, is the most important map of any 1st to 3 series. I mean, you're either dropping a match point or you're tying the series. I mean, it feels like such a pivotal moment of the momentum across the entire series. And what's King's Row? Here was your map pick for map number 2. Going back to this screen, I was noticing Says You is your highest rated player as far as anybody in this lobby. This is the flex support player. We saw a lot of honor from them in that map 1. Definitely a high impact player. And we'll be sure and keep an eye on him as this series moves forward. Buddy Scratch, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the support. Says OSU the GOATs. Carlos says GOAT as well. Thank you for the follow, Carlos. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into map number 2. It's time for a little King's Row. Let me get this camera in a cool spot. Yeah, that'll do. Jiggle, your team needs you. All right, looks like we are going to stick with our mantra call. It worked pretty darn well for Kabosu. I mean, it was super close there at the end of map 1. And our mantra seemed to work well. We're going to get a little bit more of that here to try to hold. See if they can tie up this series. A defensive Widowmaker as well. I don't see a lot of protection with bow support sitting on the low ground. Not a lot of protection for Ringer up on that in that window area. Excuse me. Good Bionade, great wall. And that is gonna be the end of Vortex. The good fundamentals, good timing on the Bionade just as the engage comes in. Deny the retreat. Picture perfect. Falls first fight here out of the defense of Kabosu. Seeing a little bit of why we got Ringer on this Widowmaker. Look at this aggressive position. This is one of those you just don't see this very often. A lot of guts to play a Widowmaker that far forward. Could really catch Papa Juan off guard there. But obviously, they got a little bit of an exchange. Fimis now goes to the inside. Try to see if they can hunt down this Widow. Very least cleans out Hotel. Nade from Squishy Squid landed onto Magnify. So you can see the call was made onto the tank. Now, Fimis has not been driven out of this hotel, so this could be entrance into the backline. So we go ahead and go chase the Widowmaker, recognizing the skills here on Ringer. Wants them out of the fight now, but down to no health. Ringer will win that up-close and personal battle. Nanobit is thrown onto Magnify here to help hold this defense. Papa Juan popped Ringer as they return to their perch in that window, but now an Annihilation invested here from Magnify on this point. That's going to melt through that Ana in no time. Terror Surge to try to finish him off. I don't think the jab landed. The rally to get out. The defense looking like they're holding. They're having to invest to do so, and they haven't completely cleaned off this point. You do still have Fimis returning through Hotel. As we see, Shigo will make that rotation. And now, completely driven away. Bionade onto Magnify. The defense once again trying to back up that wall. TyXer with a Blizzard. All the way out front. Everybody able to LOS it. They're from OSU Varsity. Sneaky Sleppy, or Sneaky S Sleppy. Appreciate the follow, appreciate the support. Nanobo's thrown in onto Vortex here. Gonna break a little section of this wall. Energy jab through the heart of Magnify, but otherwise, defense not looking too worse for wear. Oh, what a deflect kill out of Fimis. Excuse me, what is going on back here? Fimis is just wreaking havoc through your defense. Front line, Magnify was just moisturizing their lane. Meanwhile, Fimis got completely underneath. Opened up with that great deflect kill onto the Widowmaker. That's the point, Cap. There's about a minute left when it came through. Oop! Ringer's still dinking Papa John. Vortex Purple getting chased by TyXer and Magnify. It's just going to be enough to reclaim the archway here. Terror Surge, Blade combo. And Fimis, yeah, comes up with 2 on the back of that. Papa Juan getting in the mix. Squishy Skid drops the nice shot at Chavit. They're the only fatality on that fight. Good push coming through here from OSU. All right, we're looking at an orbital right coming online here. Not in a great position there to use it. I gotta be honest. Yeah, I think they were thinking the same thing. We're gonna go ahead and rotate back around. We get FACEIT invested from Ringer, and Papa Juan caught in a bad spot in alley, trying to flank, completely caught out. Essentially, Celestial's orbital could be used. Try to, yeah, muscle through this next corner between bookstore and the pub. Ringer just literally standing on the cart as the orbital ray is thrown in. Defensive Blizzard was put onto the cart as well. Rally invested here from Chigwell. Kabosu are trying to hold. They're throwing what they got at this thing, but just nothing is landing. Nothing is sticking. This Vortex is going to overwhelm in the back. It was a good job there out of OSU to avoid the Blizzard and just come back and counterpunch. Kind of wish I had caught that a little bit more from their pub. Sorry about that, y'all, but really nice fight from them. 75 seconds now, and this Deadeye, I think will be enough for the cap. I mean, you're just going to end up zoning everybody out, even if they... That's if they push. Watch for Vortex to come through with the combo. Nanobu's thrown down onto Magnify. Excuse me, that was on the Ringer. Vortex picks up one in the back before going down. Looks like there's just going to be a stagger on a Squishy Squid here. Defense stabilizes with 2 minutes to go. Nothing from this defense to work with here for these next couple of fights. Big investment from Kabosu there to make that hold. There's the nano. There's the blade. The combo into the back. There's the sleep. Oh, but Big Brain gets antied. Squishy is able to follow up on that. Finis is done with their nap. Wakes up hungry for Ringer. Makes up hungry for DPS in general. Feasting on them both. Fantastic fight out of OSU. Don't drop a single player through that. They don't even spend any more than just the Nano Blade. Holding on to the Deadeye through this. Could combo well with this Terra Surge. TX or Purple just kind of stalling to wake that off, or wait that off, rather. Oh, nice little combo. There's the Terra Surge into the middle. Papa Juan with the Deadeye. Already a player up. Oh, Papa Juan with a guess inside. Nobody in there. But Chigwell does go down holding the rally. Still might be enough. The spear will interrupt the Deadeye off the outside. Finis is going to take down TYXer. Dashes up to the high ground to finish off Ringer. And it will, in fact, be enough for the cap. 35 seconds left here for OSU.
Score 0-3.
By the way, Buddy Scritch is a great name.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Okay, 3 high ground here for OSU. Keeping Finis on the low ground. Actually, 4 high ground. The Genji to protect Hotel Flank.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Speed run in from the Maga Reaper comp right through Hotel. Fimish just immediately dashes out. And then here comes the reinforcements down in off the high ground. Good Bionade lands in from that high ground. As they keep Papa One live long enough to move in and find that kill on to Magnify. Meanwhile, there's a 2v1 going on in the back line. One Ringer? Okay, Ringer just gets 2. That could be just the opening this attacking squad of Kabosu is looking for. Unfortunately, one of those 2 was the Juno. But a temporary mismatch here. Vortex a bit outmanned on this point. Oh, just barely gets out of the Ringer, gets the final blow. Not letting them escape. Sleep on to Magnify, woken up on the flash, stands up and says, hey, that's a juicy little morsel of an Ana sitting there. This defense is starting to clap back here. What is this defense doing? Squishy Squid manages to pick up the sniper out of the back line, gets the sleep onto the Manga, and the Nano boost. Nano goes on to Seiju. Seiju is chasing down Big Brain Brad, gets the kick off the statue. The Nano Juno for the hold, and Squishy Squid comes up with 2 more. What a back line. Oh my goodness, OSU, what are you feeding your supports up there in Oregon? That was nasty. That was so awesome. All right. Tanks are aided to this death. Blossom Magnify not too far behind that. Can get the Death Cage combo in on this. See if they can wombo their way home here. Support ults are going to come up first, actually. And it's going to be the rally thrown in first. I hear a Deadeye. Ooh, Papa One got Ringer with that one. But Tyxer and Big Brain able to respond with a pair of their own. Big advantage here. Only using the support ult, so don't even need the Death Cage. Wisely, Kabosu hold on to those 2 ultimates. Save a big combo for the next one. I mean, you know, Rally Orbital is a pretty good wombo in of itself. Who we kidding? So Papa Wan goes over to the Reaper. We're going into the Reaper Echo, where this is straight into the meta composition we've been seeing. Whoa, that was certainly a big rock show. That was 2, 3 ults invested from both sides? No, only 2 ults invested from Kabosu. 3 ults invested from OSU. And it's up with a 3v3 when it's all said and done. Volley of stickies and the focusing being lands there from Fimus. Tilting this balance a little bit. See, is Vortex back in this fight? You betcha. Vortex is here. So, solid 5v4 for the defense of OSU. They're going to back up to this advantageous corner and get that defender's advantage, if you would. Duplicates online for both teams. It's interesting how the Echo can approach this point as well. It is going to be Ringer just regrouping right through Main Street. Flight ready. Nothing shaky. Stick it in main. Don't want to get too separate from the rest of the team. It's going to be a 4 Maga fight here on the corner. We're going to get a decent camera angle with this bad boy. Ringer's going to lose their duplicate first. Fimus actually has a chance to get the cage fight, but no, won't quite get it. Orbital's trying to come online. This is going to be the key for this attacking team to move in. Kabosu's got to survive long enough to make it happen, though. Nanoboo's thrown in onto Vortex into this orbital ray. The big stomp lands, but the rally is also here from Kabosu. Massive purple thrown in there from Squishy Squid, and Vortex is able to muscle that Magnify on the back of it. But Vortex is starting to notice the reinforcements falling all around them. Has to protect their Ana, cannot do it. Tyxer uses the Death Blossom to solo finish off the Ana. But with an orbital ray here, there's more than enough sustain, keeping Vortex alive through this. Able to take down Ringer through it all. Hold the bookstore, hold the line. Buddy Scritch says support character. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Keep an eye on Papa Juan sitting up on this high ground. There's the drop in. There's the cage. Good purple lands on to Magnify. The Cardiac is just not going to bring him back from that. The Juno tried to drop down and help, but Papa Juan with the very patient Death Blossom. And an emphatic nail in the coffin of that fight. Only 47 seconds remain. Pretty dry fight here. Ringer leading the server in ult charge at the moment. Roughly 10% away. Ooh, notices Papa Juan, but that was a dangerous move. Oh, no. Ringer goes barking up the wrong tree. Papa Juan drops back down to rejoin in this 5v4 in front of the bookstore. Tyexer was purpled. Had to just wraith form back around the corner. They're worried might just get stuck there. That is going to be a nanoed Maga heading into the back line. The bookstore becomes more of a mortuary. Funeral home, if you would. No touch on the back of it. OSU will claim King's Row. They will move up 2-0 here in the series.
Play of the game.
Could have got a Morg. I think Morg would have been a better one. Yeah, whatever. I'll get it next time. As Kabosu is hoping that they'll get the stars to align here for the... Oh, that's round 1 stats. Let's see some map 2 stats. Vimison and Papa Juan dead even in elims. Both 30 apiece. Very close to damage as well. Look at that 22k up there. I mean, it's from the Magas. But still, whew. Woo-wee. So that's a hefty amount of damage. All right. Heading into map 3 was Esperanza banned out here from Kabosu.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
So this was an all-star map 1. Felt like Papa Juan really having a huge impact there in map 2 on that Reaper.
4, 3,
And Vortex with all the damage you could possibly ask for out of the tank. No changes here from either side. Heading into Runasapi, we're going to stick with the Death Gauge composition. Initial Mega Control trying to get stolen away here from Kabosu. They made an aggressive move, but late Cardiac hit. Everybody able to kind of hold the door. And Kabosu's not quite able to find entrance past this center choke. Here comes the push out from Vortex. Oh, and OSU have even less luck as they try to push out of the choke. They end up losing people. Not able to back away. Not able to find safety. Kabosu will grab this first fight. After making the first move, not quite working out, but they're able to disengage nicely. And then the second push, they take the counter punch approach. 30 meters on the board already here. Papawa moves over to stop the cap. Both of our Magos just clashing heads. There's a big push in on the outside. TyExtra with the Death Blossom going to accompany the Death Blossom is good. Papawa goes down. The follow-up kill on Ephemus as well. Beautiful combination of ultimates. It was the duplicate, the rally, and the Death Blossom thrown in for TyExtra. Top-notch fight coming there out of Kabosu. They're showing us they are not done here, not by a long shot. They are hungry for that map 4, but see if he can survive this recontest. Orbital Ray thrown in. Cage fight invested for Magnify, but they're not going to be able to survive through the beam from space. It's a bloodbath here in Runasapi. 4 players standing from OSU when it's all said and done. Now, with those close spawns, we're going to get a re-engage here. Trying to prevent, they do manage to prevent the loss of that checkpoint. So Magnify with the, I mean, just frame perfect timing on that overrun. They're actually trying to shadow step in and see if they can find an angle, but realize they're running into both supports, can't overextend. Speaking of, Vortex with an overrun to the back line, try to buy some room. Rally to back it up as well as a duplicate invested here from Fimis. Shadow step onto the back line. All attention. Oh my. All death there from Fimis. Coming up with 3. Beautiful Death Blossom. Beautiful duplicate. TS1 will start march in the other direction. I mean, that last map, honestly, the OSU backline were really, really big standouts. Fimis had a spectacular map 1, I will say. Like a spectacular tracer on map 1 when we were on Ilios. But I think, honestly, despite what I was saying kind of at our stat screen, I honestly feel like the backline of Seiju and Squishy Squid, I mean, just huge output there in map 2 Kings. Big reason we're on match point here. Keep it out for TyExtra, though. TyExtra has been a tour de force through this series. Death Blossom now ready to go. We do have a rally to back this up. Not even going to need it. Big Brain Brad with a 3-piece from the Judo. Close spawns regained here from Kabosu. Oh, I like the OSU beam a lot better. This TyExtra is kind of forced to chase it with that Death Blossom. Too much healing, even at 85 HPS. More than enough healing to help survive through that onslaught. And that's the only ultimate used there from OSU to win that one out versus both the Orbital and the Death Blossom being invested on the other side. Really, really smart positioning on that beam out of Seiju. And you can see that experience. I was saying Seiju was the highest ranked player in this lobby as far as FACEIT League experience, FACEIT levels. You can see some of that expertise there in that last fight. Vortex now with the cage. Oh, out, man, but that torpedo could be huge when combined with the Death Blossom. I mean, you still got Fimis here, so there's another tank, but there's another Death Blossom. How many Death Blossoms can we see in this fight? TyExtra will have the last laugh. It says, you know what, three's enough. 3's good. Actually, I think it was just 2, but still. Wait, or was it 3? No, because it was a Maga deep on the other side. Oh, huge damage in. Oh my goodness. Says you trying to follow it up on that. Saw all those low health bars. Is able to get out. Rally now pop from Squishy Squid. And here comes the follow-up. A firm counter punch coming out here from OSU. They back up to the corner, get their feet planted, and push out with assurance. They're a quality fight win. Flawless, as a matter of fact. Really, really nice play to not overextend him. The opening, just plethora of damage poured in from Fimis was massive. FACEIT tries to follow up on it, can't quite get it, but doesn't overextend to get it. And they pull back, kind of hunker on the corner, pop that rally. Really, really nice play out of OSU. This might be enough for the checkpoint. All right, we are going to get the overrun from Magnify, but there's not, without any hit scan. Okay, it's up to TyExtra to get in. TyExtra does get in underneath. Good combination with Magnify low. They have to get out, but TyExtra's already fouled too. Here comes Vortex back onto the point. See if they can try to muscle it over the line, but you're at a 1v4 at that point. 1v5, excuse me. Ah, that's technically a 2v5. Still not good enough. Still not enough. Oh, the slime skin. Couple one chasing on the inside. Orbital in over the top. Duplicate available is both of our Junos trade out. There's the Maga dupe into it. Oh! TyExtra booped up. That extra cardiac overdrive is just too much healing. Especially when combined with an orbital and 2 cardiac overdrives. Like, I think you can just stand in the middle of I don't even know what. Something very deadly. That was a 3 ult investment there from Kabosu. Both support ults on top of that Death Blossom. And still not able to work their way through. But Kabosu are still protecting the lead at this point. Fire in the corner. Ringer having to push across. Bull move, but they have the duplicate to break him out. Popping the Death Blossom amidst that. Rally used to help survive the cage as well. Magnify will eventually go down. Papa One is traded, but then you take that trade each day of the week, twice on Tuesdays. But Vortex Low overwhelmed TyExtra. I mean, just determined to win this thing. Kabosu are digging deep in this fight. Try to swing this around. Now it's Squishy Squid with that pesky shield in front of you. Vimus turns around and gets not only TyExtra but Ringer as well. Looking for the follow-up. See if they get the 3-piece. Big Brain Brad not able to dance enough to avoid disaster. 55 seconds on the clock. Kabosu's still in the lead, but that might quickly diminish as we're going to get a checkpoint picked up here from OSU. Orbital ready to go. Simultaneous orbital ray is thrown over the point. Cage invested here from OSU has got everybody in it, but there's a rally there keeping Kabosu alive, but not long enough. Papa One and Vortex are able to focus their fire. Really good shot calling. They're out of OSU as they push this over the line. It's going to be a 3-0 here in their first playoff match of Season 3. OSU will move on here in the upper bracket, your open division playoffs. Let's get that 3rd point on the board. All right. Oh, hey. My background music. Give me my copyright-free background music. All right, that'll do. Okay. Okay. Man, OSU came out swinging. My goodness. Remember, these two teams were, I mean, neck and neck in the standings coming into this. Both had the exact same records, both directly on top of each other in the standings. I felt like this one could be very competitive, but OSU, whoo, they looked hungry here today. They looked real hungry here today. Fimus was a big standout all series long, particularly in maps 1 and 3. You can see 31 and 4 there in map number 3. far leading the damage in the DPS role at the very least. Almost out damage Magnify on the Malcolm on the other side. Like, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot for an Echo.